A radio crackles. A voice reads a wartime bulletin. Nobody in that room knows it yet, but a mistake is about to get made. Somewhere in a factory, a machine is running. Loud, constant, nobody watching it closely enough. America needs copper for bullets, for radios, for tanks, for every mile of wire strung across two oceans of war at once. So, in 1942, the government makes a strange decision. Stop making pennies out of copper. Take one of the most ordinary objects in American life and change what it is made of in the middle of the largest war the country has ever fought. For one single year, the American penny will be steel, silver, magnetic. Nothing like it before or since. Factories switch over. Millions of steel pennies roll out in 1943. People hate them. They rust in wet pockets. Cashiers mistake them for dimes. Customers argue at the register over a coin worth 1 cent. But somewhere in the chaos of switching an entire national mint over in a matter of weeks, something slips through. A handful of old copper blanks. Left in a bin. Left in a feed hopper. Nobody notices. They get fed into a press already loaded with 1943 dies. The press does not know the difference. It does not care what metal it is striking. It strikes. And a small number of 1943 pennies come out wrong. Copper, not steel. The mint says this is impossible. Officially. On the record. For years, anyone who claimed to own one was told, flatly, that they were wrong. Then a teenager in Massachusetts finds one in his lunch money. He carries it in his pocket for years, not knowing what he has. A kid in Colorado pulls one from a stack of coins his dad brought home from the bank. He does not tell anyone for decades. Then, one more turns up, in a bank-wrapped roll that has not been touched since the war ended. Sitting in a vault, untouched, for over 70 years. Today, researchers have confirmed fewer than 20 of these coins exist, in the entire world. Not in one country, not in one collection, in the entire world. One of them sold privately for $1.7 million for a penny. A coin that, on any other day, in any other year, was worth exactly 1 cent. This is the 1943 copper cent, and it is the single most famous should-not-exist coin in American history. Collectors have chased it for 80 years. Museums display the confirmed examples behind reinforced glass. And every single year, thousands of ordinary people become convinced, for a few hopeful hours, that they might own one. The mint struck over 1 billion steel cents that year. Out of that entire mintage, fewer than 20 genuine copper examples have ever been confirmed, across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco combined. The odds against finding one are almost impossible to state honestly. Here is exactly how it happened. At the changeover between 1942 and 1943, leftover bronze planchets from the old production run and new steel planchets sat in the same coining room, moving through the same feed systems. Nobody separated them by hand. Nobody had time to. A small number of bronze blanks got carried along and struck with 1943 dies, meant for steel. The press could not tell the difference. It just struck what came through, exactly the way it struck every other coin that hour. This is called an off-metal error, one of the rarest categories of mint mistake there is, because it depends on exactly the wrong material landing in exactly the wrong place at exactly the wrong second. It happened at more than one mint that year. Confirmed examples exist with no mint mark from Philadelphia, 8D from Denver, and an S from San Francisco, the rarest of the three by a wide margin. For years, the mint denied it was possible. That denial forced every early collector to prove their coin genuine beyond doubt, which is why every confirmed example today has survived serious scientific testing. 3 tests, in this order. The magnet. Genuine steel cents stick to a magnet. A genuine copper cent does not stick at all because it has no steel in it. If yours sticks, it is an ordinary steel cent, and the test is over. The scale. A steel cent weighs about 2.7 grams. A genuine bronze cent weighs about 3.11 grams. A basic scale catches that difference instantly. The date. Under magnification, the most common fake is a 1948 cent with the final 8 filed down to look like a 3. Altered dates show tool marks and an unnatural shape under a loop. If a coin passes all three, do not guess. Send it straight to PCGS or NGC. Given the money involved and given how many convincing fakes exist, professional authentication is not optional here. Thousands of people submit 1943 copper pennies every year. The overwhelming majority, by most estimates well over 99%, turn out to be copper-plated steel cents or altered 1948 coins. That does not mean checking is pointless. Real ones really have turned up in cafeteria change, bankrolls, and forgotten drawers, decades after the war ended. It means you run the magnet test yourself tonight before you get your hopes up over a coin that a 60-second check could have settled. Hope is fine. Guessing with your wallet is not. Treat these as ranges. Confirm on PCGS and the gray sheet before you quote anyone a number. A Philadelphia example, the most common of the three and still extraordinarily rare, generally runs from the low 6 figures in circulated grades up into the high 6 figures at the top. A Denver example commands a real premium over that and has reached 7 figures in top condition. The San Francisco example is effectively unique in top grade, and that is the specimen that sold privately for $1.7 million. 3 mints, 3 completely different price tiers, all from the exact same wartime mistake. Do you actually have a magnet and a scale at home right now? And would you go test your 1943 pennies tonight? Tell me honestly in the comments. Most people who own old coins never run the simple test that would settle the question in under a minute. A wartime radio bulletin about copper conservation was never supposed to matter 80 years later. Neither were a few leftover blanks that never got swept out of a machine. But that is exactly how this coin exists. Fewer than 20 of them confirmed anywhere on Earth. Somewhere, almost certainly, one more is sitting in a jar or a drawer right now, waiting on a magnet test nobody has ever bothered to run.